Hey, sports fans! Today, I'm diving into the explosive moment between LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. And, oh boy, did it get heated courtside. March 6, 2025, Lakers versus Knicks game. During the third quarter, LeBron James approaches Stephen A. Smith and calls him out, saying, "Leave my son name out of your damn mouth." Of course, he cursed, but we not about to curse on our show because Smith made comments about Bronny James, LeBron's son.
Go for it.
Let's take a moment to hear what Stephen A. Smith said about his son, Smith.
Back then I said, stop. You can't do this. If you do that shit, you're bringing more pressure on your son. LeBron, stop. I said it then. This is before he got drafted.
Clarified that his comments were about LeBron pushing Bronny into the NBA too soon, not Bronny himself. But LeBron wasn't having it. He took it personal. He told Smith to mind your business and keep my son out of your mouth. Now, let's be real. If Bronny James is an NBA player, can we really look away and not say anything? Anywho, let's move on. Now let's break down Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce's reactions to this confrontation. Both legends understand LeBron's protective instincts as a father. Of course, as a father, if I feel someone or anyone is attacking my family, I have to step up to them, but I also have to be fair and understand that if my son is in the NBA, he is open to criticism. Journalists have a job to do. They emphasize the need for respect and a better approach to handling such situations. Garnett, always the straight talker, mentioned he would have handled it differently. Also mentioned the narrative that now more players may feel they can approach journalists and talk them down publicly. He pointed out the difference between being a player and a journalist. Paul Pierce mentioned, as a former player, athletes might approach him differently because he was one of them, and they would approach with respect to him and his game. Pierce also pointed out it's crucial to remove emotions and approach such situations with understanding. He also suggested that a private conversation would have been more effective, but LeBron wanted to expose Smith to the world. That was his intention. Paul Pierce criticized the media for crossing the line with personal attacks like Skip Bayless calling Russell Westbrook, making the entire world make fun of him. That's a disgraceful act toward an NBA player. Critiquing a player's game is one thing, but personal attacks, not cool at all. Journalists bear the responsibility to be respectful and dignified in their work. Is it constructive criticism to criticize someone's game? Yes. What about to use sensationalism? No. As journalists, we have to be more proactive and not attack someone's fatherhood. I think Stephen A. not responding is the greatest act in all this. One wrong move, this whole thing could have gotten ugly. LeBron physique and Stephen A. Smith is unmatched. I think had Stephen gave any wrong response, we would have seen hands throwing, but it didn't get that far, and we are glad it didn't. Stephen A. himself confirmed that LeBron could have reached out privately but chose the public route. Smith later called LeBron's approach weak and then went on different platform, criticized his push for Bronny to enter the NBA prematurely. Let's talk about Bronny James. Drafted in the second round of the 2024 NBA draft from USC, he's averaging 1.4 points, 0.4 rebounds, and 0.4 assists in 18 games. Not stellar, but he's just starting out. Garnett and Pierce highlighting how negative media affects players. They advocate for a more positive and supportive approach to sports journalism. And of course, social media's role can't be ignored. This confrontation went viral, showing how social media amplifies these incidents and potentially encourages future public disputes between players and the media. So, what's the takeaway? As journalists and media personalities, there's a responsibility to call it as you see it, but with respect and dignity. Criticize the game, not the person. And as fans, let's remember that athletes are human too, have feelings and families. What's your thought about the whole situation? Do you think Garnett and Pierce is right about the situation? Leave a comment. Hit that like button and subscribe for more sports insights. Stay tuned and keep it real.